This is Pitch to Pod with sometimes WSL legend Nikita. It's my birthday, Paris, so I'm not here. And Jordan, every day is a party, knobs. Every week they bring you topics straight from the pitch to this podcast as we discuss the biggest talking points from the world of football, the WSL, and beyond. This week, she's not quite riding solo, but there is only one Jordan Nobbs. However, as Nikita is off being surprised for her birthday, surprise, she already knows, ready to jump out of the cake and be the gift that keeps on giving, it's Manchester United and Everton's Hannah Blundell. Hey!
Woo.
Thank you.
Thank you. Precious time in your windows when you're not playing football, doing proper work, which is playing football, training, or looking after your beautiful daughter. You're here with us. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Very well.
You've been at training today?
Yes, we've been in today. Everyone's back off international, so it's been a bigger group, but it's been nice.
That was you too, Jordan, wasn't it? Or have you been back in a while? You've had, what, 6 weeks off, feet up in the sun?
I know, it's felt like ages. I mean, you do enjoy the breaks now a little bit as you get older. But yeah, we had a
Yes.
few days off and then been back in. But yeah, it's nice to have a bit of time now and kind of live a bit more normal life in between football, which I'm sure Hannah knows about.
Yes, I agree.
Baby sick, changing baby. What is normal
Yeah.
life for you, Hannah, now?
Yeah, it's different now. It's not, I can't just gallivant off on holiday. It's being a mum, like you said, changing nappies, going to soft play, my life's changed, but I wouldn't change it any other way. I'd have it the same now. I can't imagine life without her, but yeah, it's fantastic being a mum.
Erin's my partner's mates came down the other week with her two nephews. One's like 1 and one's 3. So I was just going to say how incredible you are, because we had them from like Monday to Friday, but oh my God, like cooking, cleaning, watching them, like it's just incredible what you do, because I was absolutely exhausted and I literally had them for 5 days. So yeah, it was
To be
crazy.
to be fair, I think it is different when it's someone else's kids because obviously got your eyes on them constantly because you're like, oh my God, nothing bad can happen to them because they're in my care, blah blah. But when it's your own, of course you're still the same, but not as much because it's like, oh, it's my kid, so like it's my responsibility. But obviously when it's someone else, you're just sort of like, oh my God, on edge. I feel like 24/7 even more. It's funny because I had a conversation with Maz Pacheco as well, and she looked after, I don't know whose it was, but her and her partner looked after 2 kids as well, and one was I think a 9-month-old, and she done, like, overnight to the weekend, and she came back and she was like, "Oh my God, I'm shattered." And I was like, "You do get used to it, I promise," and that. She was like, "I'm not having kids, I'm not doing it." So bless her, she's been scarred, I think, for life.
You're all on the phone to the gaffer saying, can we come back from international break early? Would it be
Yes.
right? I'd like to do some extra training for me. Put me
Yeah.
down on that. We will talk more about motherhood in just a bit, but there's plenty to talk to you about, not least Everton. Phenomenal run of form at the moment, ahead of the weekend as well. But there's a little cup game coming up at the weekend too, which you know something about 2-year-old clubs in action. But let's start with England, which has happened since we were last here, Jordan, as well. Pretty much as they would have hoped, maybe a couple more goals if we're being greedy, but so much conversation this week about England beating Ukraine, then Iceland as well. Another step towards World Cup qualification. Lucy Bronze being the star. I've heard so much about Lucy Bronze this week, but more about actually what happens when Lucy Bronze is not there. And I'm like, she's here. Don't worry. It's
Yeah,
okay.
she's fine.
Yes.
No one even needs to worry about that. No, I thought the Lionesses, I mean, you know, you'd like to hope that they're steady wins for them, but it's still about getting across the line. And I think, yeah, for Lucy to be out with a broken leg, back in, back out to score a goal, she's just at another level, and they're the players that win you games. So I'm really proud of her that she's still going, and I'm sure she's looking at that World Cup as well.
Of course she is. I know. I don't know about you or both of you actually, whether you've experienced this with players. It seemed like she was rested for whatever reason in the first game, and then right, I've got something to prove. And you're like, Lucy Bronze has nothing to prove, but she came out like she was possessed in that second game.
Yeah, I think you'd probably look at her and think she's almost a robot, like, she's just able to go constantly, and I think that's just the competitive side in her as well, that she would just want to be involved in every single game. And I think most players would be the same. She won't want to be rested. She wants to be involved in these games, and she is still playing at the highest level and performing week in, week out. And I think it's incredible to see.
Overall thoughts then on the 2 games, Jordan?
Yeah, good wins. I think you've always got to show up on the teams you're facing, but I think good control of the game. It was a massive chance for Serena to play lots of different players and give them experience, and I think that's so key into the Lionesses developing and becoming a strong squad. She wants. It's not nice as a manager, but you want them decisions to make where you've got too many good players to pick from.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the girls could have gone into those games and kind of been a bit complacent, because on paper you'd think, of course, they'd win those games. But I thought they were professional performances, and like Jordan said, was able to rotate the team and give some of the girls some opportunities. And yeah, I thought they done excellent.
Right, back to soft play then. Now we've done the England chat. That is a mission. Let's talk about you announcing your pregnancy in September 2024. Was it?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Take us back to that moment, because it's something I know at the time you said you wanted to be that role model for players. Go have your wonderful babies, come back, play football, and everything you hoped it would be. What was it like that first moment with teammates, fans telling the club?
Yeah, I remember when we first found out, that one of my first initial thoughts was, obviously I need to tell the club, because I'm not be able to play that season. So I think we found out around July, August time. Um, and the club were fantastic with me. I only told, I think it was the doc, the physios, and Mark. Um, and then like Matt, head of women's football. And then, but the funny thing was, some of the girls started to clock because I wasn't having my morning cup of tea. I just got, I guess, put off by it in the early stages of my pregnancy. So obviously having to pretend that I was injured and kind of being like, oh, every day the girls be like, how's the injury? And I'm like, oh yeah, still struggling a bit. So that was a real tough part, because I thought, one, of course, you don't want to lie to your teammates. But again, it was for good reason. And then I think day by day, some people were just clocking, going like, didn't mention anything to me, which I'm quite grateful that they didn't, because I wanted to get to the 12-week mark before telling everyone properly and making sure everything was okay. So yeah, when I got the scan for the 12 weeks and everything was fine, I was like, right, okay, I'm ready to tell everyone. And then the response was fantastic from the girls, the fans, the club, everyone. And then, yeah, we kind of just all worked together, because it was new, obviously, for myself, for the club, and for the physios. It was kind of, right, how do we navigate now? Me still training, but not non-contact, but still being involved with the team, with the girls, every week. And then going on to like maternity leave, how do we start that? When do we start it? Um, so for me, it was a great process. Very thankful for how the club treated me and allowed me kind of, I guess, to do what I wanted, but I had the support and guidance from them whenever I needed it. Um, but yeah, it was fantastic, and can't thank them enough.
Jordan, we both smiled at the same part when she said they noticed I'd gone off my cup of tea.
I know. Yeah, but you're in such a crazy environment. I'm not surprised that people click on. We always say it, you're like a football family. You notice the tiny little things and changes. But I think I was involved when Katie Chapman was pregnant at Arsenal. But since then, I've not really been around. You know, the player baby environment. So I think it's still a lot that players don't know about. They don't know, the difficulties, and they don't know the good side of it. Like I was going to ask, how was it with your body changing? Going from being pregnant, like training, and then even coming back from that. Because I can imagine that was, kind of the unknown, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. And to be fair to United, they were very open in the fact that, like, this is new to us as well. Kind of, we'd go based off how you're feeling. Like, we'd do sessions, and then the docu was like, your heart rate can't go above, I think it was like 80% of your max heart rate. So everything I did was not low tempo, but to the point where I wasn't pushing myself, where I was like out of breath loads. It was kind of, I was still able to train on the pitch, which was nice to still be involved in like the technical sessions. Because I didn't want to be stripped right back, because I was like, I'm still able to do stuff. Yeah, I've now got this bump in front of me, but I'm still able to move. And also with gym as well, it was like, right, kind of still do the gym sessions, but of course lower the weight a little bit. And even bike sessions, all of that. It was kind of, yeah, go off how you're feeling, and we'd take the lead with that. But I'm quite glad that I was still able to, especially do gym, because throughout my pregnancy, I didn't have any back pain. And I know like a lot of women struggle a lot with back pain because, of course, you're carrying some extra weight. Your body is obviously moving and changing. So thankfully, yeah, I think doing gym and still being active definitely helped me throughout my pregnancy, that I didn't struggle with any, yeah, back pain or anything like that.
It's being part of a team as well. You said there, to still be on the pitch, part of technical drills as well, to not feel isolated, which, given you were the sort of the first United player in that pro era to go through everything you were experiencing that moment, actually just have everyone say, what do you need, is clearly the most important thing. Is it's going to be different for everyone, but to have that sense from the club that they're actually listening to you.
Yeah, it was, they were really good in that sense, because again, like none of us knew kind of what we were stepping into, myself included. So it was kind of like they wanted, of course, they want to have things in place to kind of like guidelines and be like, right, you have to do this, that. That it was, they were very much was like, however you're feeling, we just go off how you're feeling and go from there. So I think it was good that I had a voice in that, because ultimately it was me going through that transition and that phase. So yeah, it was fantastic. And now I believe Celine is obviously going through the same process. And again, she knows she's got a voice, and that the club will listen to her and kind of go off whatever she's feeling and what she wants to do. So yeah, they've been really good in that sense.
And you've helped with that, with Celine Bisset and everyone that comes after you. Missy Kearns as well, just announcing her pregnancy. You're going to have like a football NCT WhatsApp group.
We do actually have a PFA one. Ben Whelan has set it up. So we've actually got like, I guess, like a base now for all of us mums in football, that yeah, we can just go to whenever we need anything, or kind of just bounce off one another, which is nice.
I remember doing an interview with Fern and her little one. Must have been about the same age as Romy now, I think. On the wheel at Brighton, going round. So try going around with a freshly born, not quite freshly born. It was trying to grab the microphone, and it was all those things you hope it would be. It was lovely. Lots
Yeah,
of gurgly noises.
nice.
So now back up and running, and over at Everton as well. You said you're able to come and talk to us today because she's in the club group being looked after. I take it that's not the players all looking after her.
Who, Romy?
Yeah.
No, she's with a childminder. So
Oh.
we, yeah, I don't know if I trust them.
Only the
As much as
keepers.
they're great. Yes, that's true. That is very true. No, she's yeah, every Monday and Friday she goes with the childminder, who lives, I think it's about 20 minutes from our house. So yeah, she goes there, which she loves, to be fair. Whenever I take her there in the mornings, she's sort of like, right, bye mum, sort of pushes off me, goes to them. And then she's with all of her mates, which is nice. So yeah, Tuesdays and Fridays is quite nice. You get a bit of a relax after training, which is nice.
And then we subject you to the grilling. With both of you, how does it work with sort of loan deals? So Manchester United, your parent club in all senses
Mhm.
of the words, and then clearly you're at Everton now with a real good spell that you're going through at the club. Do Manchester United stay in touch? How does that all work?
Yeah, so I've stayed in touch a little bit with like the doc. He was very keen to kind of keep in touch with me, one, to even just go through like how I thought like the pregnancy and postpartum, all of that, how the club did, and he kind of wanted feedback on what will we be better and stuff. So I still keep in contact with him. and then a little bit with like the physios and that. But they very much kind of just, I guess, left me to it, kind of to get on, with what I'm doing at Everton. But yeah, like I said, keep in contact with the doc and stuff, so that's nice.
Yeah. Is that sort of a similar thing, Jordan, when clubs do put players out on loan, that is very much you focus on with the club you're with now, but we're keeping an eye on everything, but you focus on that moment.
Yeah, I think it is. I think, I've not been on loan, but whenever you're speaking to players that have, the communication is never massively strong unless it's really needed. Because I guess, you're there to play for your new club, get the game time in and get the minutes in. So yeah, I think it's always been quite similar process really of not so much talking every week. I think it's quite similar that most players have been with physios and things like that just to make sure, everything's okay and you're looked after because naturally some players end up going back to club depending on injuries or anything like that.
I think my probably situation's a bit different as well because my contract's up in the summer and we've kind of agreed that like I'm not going back to United, so it's kind of I guess like a phasing out period with them in that sense.
Does it feel is it better in some ways that you've got that phasing out rather than like kind of the hard sharp goodbye?
I think so, yeah. We the club are really good. They did a like a farewell thing for me and Rach Williams the other week, which I thought was really nice because you get to say goodbye to the fans and stuff because like when you do leave a club, it is I always think it's always kind of like a breakup. Obviously, you've given everything to that club and you build such a good relationship with, of course, the players, the coaches, but the fans as well. Especially in women's football, we know how connected we are to the fans, and so to be able to say goodbye to them properly, I think, was quite nice, and I'm glad United gave us that opportunity.
You kind of we talked about this, Jordan, haven't we? About actually it is important to try and get that moment, especially when you spent so long with the club.
I think you need it for your mental health. Like I think you just need that moment to, you're not closing a door because you've got so many memories. I'm sure Hannah has, so many memories with the club. And I think it's you want to still as players, I think you still want to be respected for what you've done there. I think the worst thing is you're leaving with a bit of a like bitter feeling because the club you haven't felt like the club's given you either a send off or just a thank you. I think that's always very respectful for clubs to do that to players. I think it's really really important that clubs make sure that they that what Hannah said earlier, we're not robots. Like we have feelings. It is tough, but we've also worked our asses off, playing for you. So yeah, I think it's nice. I saw the picture that you put on Instagram, Hannah. So I think it's good when clubs do that.
It's also a crucial time because they're trying to buy Romy's affections, aren't they? Whether she's a Manchester United fan or an Everton fan or even a Chelsea fan. Are you pushing her one way or the other at the moment?
Oh no, no, I let her go any direction she wants to.
Yeah,
You've
she
got a
says
football
that now.
family though, with Tom as well.
Yeah, yeah. To be fair, his family are diehard Arsenal fans, so I don't think I've really got a choice. They've got season tickets, to Arsenal and that, so I think ultimately she's gonna be an Arsenal fan. Um, I don't think I have a say, to be honest.
We'll dig out the retro Jordan Nobbs Arsenal shirt and send it over, Jordan. You got well. I'm
Yeah,
not saying it would
100%.
fit her
Perfect.
now, Jordan.
Yeah,
Well, I don't. Yeah,
maybe a
I
few
get
years.
get judged on the size of my t-shirts, so not far off.
Yeah, you love a baggy one. So now at Everton, there's some huge matches coming up. You've got the Merseyside derby in a bit. Spurs this weekend too.
Yeah.
How's it been? How are you enjoying it?
Yeah, good. I think since Scott's come in, of course, there was a bit of, I guess, apprehension because everyone knew he hadn't been in the women's game. So it's kind of like, how is it going to work? How is he going to be able to communicate with the players, build relationships? But he's been absolutely fantastic. Since he came in, it's brought a bit of an energy to the group. Of course, everyone wants to impress the new manager and kind of put their stamp on how they're playing and stuff. But yeah, he's been a fantastic addition, and I think it's shown on the pitch, the results we've been getting. But again, those results are in the past now. We just have to build on those, gain confidence every training session, every game, and just go from there. But I really enjoyed it. The reason I went to Everton was to get game time, and I'm getting that now. And yeah, I'm in a great place, really happy, and yeah, just looking forward to the next games ahead.
She was doing like you were doing, Jordan, when Tanya came in and you were all doing the extra sprints up and down.
Yeah, we spoke about it saying that like it's like a conscious, is it conscious the right word? But where you just see like another 10% come out of everyone because they're like, right, like everyone's got a chance. But yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
We all go into like psychos for the next training session.
Yeah.
What are you like in training? Because again, it's something we've spoken about before. You have those players that just go all out, kicking everyone up in the air in training as well, giving it as much as you would on the pitch.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't say I'm that, to be fair. I think I'm quite chilled. I think as I've got older, I was having this conversation with Mel Lawley actually. I was saying when I was younger, if I'd lost a small-sided game, it would ruin my day. Like I'd be in such a mood and all of that. But now, as I've got older, I'm like, of course, when I'm in it, I'm enjoying it, kind of, right? Competitiveness comes out. But if we've lost, I'm not like sulking. I'm sort of like, oh well, like it is what it is. Like carry on with my day. Where I think it's funny now to see the younger players. You can tell they get so just irate if they've lost a game or something like that. Like, oh, let's play one more, like because they want to win or something like that. So it's so funny, I guess, coming like full circle. That's how I used to be to now, kind of being a bit more chilled out.
You say younger players. I think that's Nikita Paris, isn't it? So I'm led to believe she's a bit like that, not losing anything. Uh, no, exactly that. The Merseyside derby. Then I know, as I said, you got a Spurs game before then, but to have that to be your first Merseyside derby as well. What's that going to be like?
No, just to be involved in derby games is special. Is something you always those games you always want to play in. And yeah, been fortunate to play in like the London derbies, the Manchester derbies, and now Merseyside derbies. It's yeah, just a great thing to be a part of. And of course, you're always going to want to get one up on them, and I guess paint Merseyside blue. And yeah, it just lifts you up. I think no matter where you're from, everyone understands that a derby game is like a must-win game for the team, and everyone, yeah, puts in those extra percentages because they want to come out on top.
Well, things going well for you at the moment. Things going well for Liverpool too. So a proper old clash in the
Yeah.
WSL as well. Tickets on sale for that. Well worth going along to. Hannah Blundell with us, and two teams. I said that fighting rivalries, whether it's Manchester United or Everton, maybe even Oldham for Romy for her shirt. But what about seeing Manchester United go up against another year old side's Chelsea, who could maybe go for that shirt as well in the League Cup this weekend? What do you both make of it?
Yeah, I think it'll be exciting. I think the games recently have been close between them. I think obviously both got world-class players in their team, so I think it could swing anyway. But one that I'll definitely be watching, which, yeah, I can't wait to see. And of course, I'll be cheering on Man United because technically still my club. So yeah, I'm hoping they get the win and are able to bring that trophy home because they haven't won it yet. So yeah, definitely cheering them on.
I think it's good because Chelsea have a bit of a point to prove. So that's a big game for them. But United have been known for, you know, not conceding a lot of goals. So I think it'll be kind of the battle of Chelsea's attack and United being that strong defensive network and then trying to score a goal on the counter.
You say that their attack, Manchester United, like Jess Park has been phenomenal, hasn't she? Even picking that up with England as well. Are you surprised at just how she's taken to playing for Manchester United?
Yeah, I think a little bit. But I think with United, she's just been given this freedom. She's able to float, which I think suits her really well. She's able, either whether that be coming in on the right hand side or playing in the middle. Um, I think the way she just links up play and brings everyone into the game, I think has been incredible to watch. And knowing her personally now when being at United, she's just such a great person as well, such a humbled person, and I think that probably what makes it even better, and this just makes you want her to succeed even more. So it's really great to see.
We talked about it ahead of the England games, but there does just seem to be this shift, Jordan, with Jess at the moment. That confidence seems to have grown in her to say, "I belong here on this stage."
Yeah, I think that's, why she's been scoring goals. I think when you're a centre mid and you're scoring goals, it's a big part of his confidence. I think there's always different styles of kind of like ten pocket players. You've got ones that like to stay in a pocket, like for example, a Jill Rood. She was very much she could stay in a pocket, hold up play, that type of thing. And there's no right or wrong with it, but I think you need the manager and the team to highlight the best version of you. And I think that's what's happened with Jess. She's gone somewhere where she's allowed a lot of freedom. One of her biggest strengths is dribbling. And I think that's really shown when she's played for United. She's driving with the ball and then not even thinking about passing and getting a shot off. But yeah, she's a big player for them right now.
Are you surprised that, Hannah, where Chelsea have had this? I mean, it's ridiculous to say a wobble given all the competitions they're still in, right? And have you been surprised with what's happened there? And also, given it's so still relatively early in the season, how key could winning this trophy be for changing their outlook on the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think definitely. I think ultimately Chelsea were above everyone for the past few years, and I think gradually everyone's now closed that gap, and I guess overtook them in terms of league wise. But I think for them, it's this game. Yeah, like Jordan said, it's a game for them to prove something, to be like, no, we are still in this. We haven't fully fallen off the cliff in terms of games. So I think for them, like for both teams, it's very important, I think, to get the win. But more so, I think for Chelsea because I think it will boost their season. I think everyone's looked at it as such a negative season for them, but yeah, to be in a cup final and have a chance to win a trophy is always going to be special. And I think for them, it will, yeah, boost their season.
Well, I can't ask you which way you think it will go because, as you said already, still a Manchester United player in
Yeah.
theory, so we can't have your allegiances split. Jordan, which way is it going? I can split yours.
Yeah, sorry, I am going Chelsea.
Why?
I just think this is just a huge game for them, which I think could be a big turning point. And the players they have on the pitch, Lauren James back, Lucy Bronze probably back. I think that they might have the edge, and we've always known. We talk about how harsh we are on them having a rubbish season, but that's the high standards we have of Chelsea now because they're so good. But I think this will be a game that they're like, let's go a bit more. But it'll be good game. And luckily, I don't mind who wins.
Yeah. Oh, we'll call it now. We'll call it now. We're going to let you go. What's the rest of the week look like then for you in the build up to the Spurs game?
So training tomorrow. We've actually just changed our days. We used to be in 3 days a week, but now we've changed it to two in, one off, two in game. So yeah, today was sort of like an introduction day with everyone back from international, and then I think starting tomorrow we're going more tactically for Spurs.
And I don't know whether this is a daft question or not, given I'm always trying to look after my pelvic floor. But is training slightly different now? Like, do things like pelvic floor change how you then train different strength work you do in those processes now?
No, to be fair, in the beginning it was different. The club got me in touch with a pelvic floor specialist.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which was really good because I think when someone's pregnant, the first thing everyone says is do pelvic floor exercises, like strengthen it and all of that. But when I went to go see her, we did like an examination and that, and thankfully I didn't need to. Someone's at my door. No, it's all right. Tom will get it. Yeah, yeah. No, and then found out that my pelvic floor was actually quite strong and that I needed to learn to, I guess, relax it for childbirth and stuff like that. So if I didn't see her, I would have been doing pelvic floor exercises, strengthening, and it probably would have been too strong to, I guess, give birth, or made it more difficult. And then she gave me exercises postpartum and all of that, and then kind of got me back to doing like more core work and everything like that. So now it's all fine, but back then it was like, right, nailing down on the exercises to, I guess, get it back to normal, I guess.
Everyone listening to this right now will all be doing their pelvic floor the minute that you talk about it. Everyone's like, oh, that's how I do my pelvic floor in a way. But
Yeah.
it's those sorts of things, and I know I brought it up, but it's those sorts of things actually, if we're not talking about it, if people haven't gone through it, and you're still relatively rare in terms of, not mothers in the world, clearly, but mothers going back to play professional sport. I've got a number of friends who play professional netball and going back, and it's just that actually, look how phenomenal you are. And given it's been International Women's Day, totally celebrate you. And thank you for talking so openly about it, not just on your NCT WhatsApp group, but with us too.
No, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Go enjoy training. Maybe we'll see you in the studio sometime soon as well. Good luck this weekend. The League Cup final Sunday, that's live on Sky Sports with us from 2:15. WSL's back. Hannah's Everton at Spurs. Birthday girl Nikita's team, they're off to Arsenal. They host Arsenal. London City hosts Arsenal. That's a sellout already, that one. So it's working. It's working down at London City. They're all 11:55 kickoffs. Jordan off to Sheffield United this Saturday.
Yep.
6:00. I also saw a bit with you on the telly. Our Jordan's everywhere at the moment, talking about Newcastle. Are you feeling the extra pressure or enjoying it?
Enjoying it, yeah. I mean, we've got 3 games. We're playing Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday this week. So, yeah. By the end of the week, I could be buzzing or just not coming on your podcast.
It's your podcast. So if you're not there, you're only letting yourself
Our
down.
podcast.
Just letting yourself down, Jordan. If you have a question for Nikita or Jordan, or if you want to talk about pelvic floors, I'd love to, because once again, I'm doing it the minute I talk about it. Get in touch, use the hashtag #PitchToPod. Who knows? They could be answering it on this show. Bye for now.